truths that govern your tree. Before I do, I want to question. I want to give you a permanent question that you keep sealed in yourself. That you keep sealed in yourself. Here's a law. This becomes part of your personal code of laws. Your personal code of laws. That you ask yourself, every time you are in an interaction and you feel yourself hemorrhaging, you feel the dragons coming, you feel illusion, Buddha, you ask yourself, are you important enough for me to tie my karma to you? Hold yourself steady. Do I want to see you for all eternity? If you say this, listen to me. If you want to say to someone, I never want to see you again, the worst thing you can do is say it in anger, because you will see them for all eternity. You silly gooses. That is why forgiveness is your release mechanism. The law. The irony of mystical law is it's exactly the law you need and the hardest to practice. Have I got you? I got you. Got you like a bug on a June bug. Duck on a June bug. Do I want to tie my healing to you? Another question. Do I really want to tie my healing to you? Because if I don't forgive you, that's exactly what I'm going to do. Oh. Do I want to go through do I want to make my healing contingent upon whether or not you call me? Whether or not you acquiesce to my pride? Do I really want to tie my healing to you? Okay, when we get to the 7 graces and shadows tomorrow, you really are going to have your worker bee tools, your sort of hot buttons. So you actually get that you're operating from these places at all times. You're firing on all 14 graces and passions at all time. So you know exactly what to say to yourself. Ask yourself, I'm firing off at greed, at avarice, at reverence for life. What Ellen was talking about yesterday when she was talking about the earth, all I could think of was the grace of reverence, to hold the earth in that grace, to stand on this earth and actually realize what it is to hold, to have the grace of reverence for your own life. Which brings us to this, the tree of life. That the sacredness of actually recognizing that that your first center. Now in mystical, it's how you understand yourself. At all times, how you understand yourself. Either you see yourself in a physical form, and what are you doing down here? What's your business down here? If you say, for what purpose have I been born? How do you intend to live there? What do you think? It's just a job? Do you want to be down here? If you just want a job, then just fill out a job application, throw it in a mailbox, address it to God, and just wait. And own what you're doing. I simply want a big job with a lot of bling. But if you have to ask yourself, do I actually believe this is a spiritual experience for which I have been given a very tiny amount of years that go oh so very fast? For which I have been given a very tiny amount of years and a physical form that ages faster than I can keep up with it. No amount of Botox surgery or anything else can slow this aging vessel down oh so very fast, with its aches and its pains and its gray hairs and its limps. I can barely, it falls apart faster than my home. What a very brief period of time we share on this little bitty planet. Get your heads together. Get your values on straight. Coveting the stuff of this earth for a lousy handful of years serves you not at all. You can take none of it with you. Now, any of it can you take with you. So choose your weapons, soul or ego. Where are you going to play? What field do you want to master? What do you want to master? The wisdom of mastering, I get this. All right, I get the rules down here. I get it. I get the rules. The rules are enjoy my time, but don't get attached, because I'm not staying. Enjoy my time, but don't get attached, because I'm not staying. I don't care how much real estate you own, how big your little toy boats are, you ain't staying. So no attachments. I don't care what you own, don't get attached to it. The paradox. Own whatever you want, but don't get attached to it. Buddha. What's with your attachments? I don't care what you own, don't get attached. Understand the difference. What you just make your decision of how you see yourself and recognize, I tell you what I've got to be busy doing here. At my first center of my tree of life, I have to caretake my roots, my tribe. Where's my tribe? If I don't caretake my tribe, my community, I will not thrive. If I have no community, all of life is your community. Nature's your community. Human beings are your community. You are tribal by soul design. This is a truth. All is one. Violating the whole, and you violate something fundamental in here. I'll tell you a truth that here, we are born to be charitable. We are born, and I will tell you an absolute truth that I became totally convinced about when I wrote Invisible Acts of Power. We have a sensory here to sense those who need us. When we walk down the street, don't ever any human being look at me and tell me, you do not see the homeless person in the street. Yes, you do. Yeah, you do. You see the homeless person, you see the needy. By the way, I'm doing my soup kitchen in June. Anyone want to make a donation? I'm up for it. I'm not asking for much, $4, $5, I'll take it. I have my soup kitchen where we do meals. Every single cent goes for food. These are people who are homeless. I'll take the money. Okay. But you sense them because we sense our own kind. Okay, now listen to me very, very, very carefully. The more, remember the picture of the graces coming in and the circuits. The reason we undergo initiations and sometimes seizures and sometimes wild-ass illnesses that take you into where you have to rewire yourself through excruciating healing, where your body is shattered in cancers and God knows what else, where your ego cannot heal you. Cannot, will not, cannot, has no power. And you're laying there saying, if I don't find another battery in me, I have to go home. I have to leave the earth. And your option is either you find that battery and heaven will help you, but this battery is a partnership. This battery is a partnership. What you discover is this battery has an interior lighting. And this is You don't get a codependency. Oh, God, do it for me, and be a baby and pull out your wounds. Oh, but you gave me a bad mom. You gave me a bad dad. Didn't you see you blew it? You can't codependent with God. None of this wound stuff. None of this saying, look what you did to me. It doesn't get you anywhere. This time you rise like this and you say, we got some work to do. All right, I accept what I cannot change. I begin here. And you begin to rewire yourself. And the divine meets you halfway. These are cables now. And these cables run a powerful grace. And you find that your body begins to work again. It may be not the way you thought it was going to work, but you find, okay, all right, I'll take it. I'll take it. I'll get this thing to work. It'll work. I'll get it. I'll take it. I'll get it. I'll work. It'll work. How do you want this to work? There's your question. How's this work? There's your question. How's this work? The roots, everything works off of a cable of grace. And you say, I'm a bit scared now. I feel a bit fragile, and so you will remain. The fragileness is never going to be taken away. You will never have the fragileness taken away, be advised. That's your signature. You should take comfort in your fragileness. The divine paradox. I feel so fragile, that's my signature, you're near. I feel so vulnerable, that's my signature, you're here. Do you not get that in the mystical sense? The ego would say, oh, help me, I think I need to buy an armored truck. But the soul says, I feel so fragile, you must be near. You must be near. That's your calling card, is my fragility. If you only got that. Then you know these are the qualities that you look and realize, my second chakra thrives. The grace that it thrives on in the Jewish mystical tradition is honor, righteousness, honor one another. What was the covenant? Circumcision of the male, cut out the violence right away. Put him on the altar, cut the violence out, slice the second chakra. You have to approach someone with honor. The third grace you have here, and these graces within your tree of life, remember, this is the grace you're looking for from others. Make no mistake. Let's turn it around. You want to be part of community. You want to be honored. And you become brutal if you're not. Hit the pause button. You are nothing kind to deal with if you feel dishonored. Remember, and this is the weapon chakra, children. And you will pull out your weaponry. Or does someone want to challenge that? This third, this is a really tough passage. This is a tough passage point. And these two graces are so extraordinary. And now is where understanding these graces and part of why is my tree of life not thriving. Let's hit a pause button. I want all of you to think about something in your life that you think is not thriving. Can we go there? I don't care what it is. Go business, go anything. Are we all there? Is anybody not? Something in your life that's not bearing fruit. or the fruit is rotten. Are we all there? Because everything that you have has these chakras, or has a tree of life. Everything has a third chakra. These two, Sephira, this is majesty and endurance and mercy. Mercy. I love mercy, just the word of it. But this is endurance. This is a grace we don't talk about. The capacity to endure. I'm giving up too soon. I expect too much. In the shadow, passion is entitlement. I was entitled for success to come sooner, and I will not endure what it takes to make this field come to harvest. The capacity to develop endurance, where you are able to recognize this experience in my life is simply about endurance. Nothing more than that. I have not learned endurance. So I've been given something to endure. It's as simple as that. I've been given something to endure. There's no more reason to it than that. This is what I've been given to endure. It's not for any other reason than I must have something to endure. And this is what it is. I've been given something to endure, and this is what it is. And I must endure it in order to learn how to endure, and thus it makes me merciful. Right.
Does that tie into the, I think it's Catholic, but it might be all Christians, like cross to bear?
We could tie it in. The Christian tradition says we all have a cross to bear. And I think that may be a version of saying the same thing, because the truth is across the board. We are all given something to endure, lest we have arrogance. Because entitlement, the shadow here is arrogance and entitlement. I'm entitled not to endure. You endure, you commoner. All right? Something has to pierce us to make us feel for each other. We all have to endure something that we feel is unfair to make it all fair. Yeah. Right? Yeah. We all have to be given something that's completely unfair so it's fair. Yeah. All right? Okay. If you get that, if you have these lenses, you realize that's what's really going on. This is what this person is collapsing under something because they can't see the fairness. They're looking for a rule of fairness versus the law. Okay? So let's talk about that just for a second. Here are rules versus mystical laws. Play by the rules and you don't get hurt. That's just not true. There's no truth to that. Okay, you're looking for the rule you broke. You know, why should I be given something to how did this happen to me? Why am I doing this? You're looking for why should I have to endure this? Why should I have to endure? You're looking for the rule versus the mystical law, which is when you say, oops, I'm looking on the wrong level. This person is exhausted in their soul because of dealing with the grace of endurance. They don't realize that's what this test and this journey in their life is about. They're trying to find the rule they broke. They're trying to find a reason, and they don't get that the reason itself is simply learning the experience and enduring the experience of endurance. For the sake of mercy. Are you with me here?
Yes.
And sometimes it's a lifetime of that. And sometimes we endure so others don't have to. Oh, get out. It's true. I don't want that life. Too bad. You don't know what's been agreed to, that you've even agreed to, or perhaps chosen before you were born. Okay. The fourth is, in the heart, is compassion. The heart needs compassion or it doesn't thrive. A bitter heart will get to, and then the throat. Oh, I love this. All right, this is, you know, the center of this is confession, right? This is the sacrament of confession. This is your power of choice. And here in the tree of life, it is power, judgment, and again, mercy. A higher sense of mercy. How you speak. This is where we make our judgments. A sense of wisdom. So we know that here, even in the tree of life with wisdom, in order for you to thrive, the question was asked, forgive me, what is your name? You asked me a question? Elaine, thank you. Elaine asked me a question on break, which is, you know, the more that someone comes to realization, does that make it easier to manage your shadow? And the answer is no, it doesn't. It doesn't make anything easier, but what it does make, it is more necessary. And it makes the consequences of, it's been my experience that when you speak in judgment or you make judgments, when you know better and you know better, and the cycle of you know better, and the wheel of you know better, it makes the judgments you make bite you twice as hard as they bite someone else. You are the one who bleeds more from your own teeth and the bite and the sting than the other person. You are the one who has to go about the task of repairing it twice as fast, and it hurts twice as much. Because now you know the consequence of your actions, and you can't let yourself off the hook. You used to be able to let yourself off the hook. You used to be able to say, it's their fault, and you can't do that anymore. You can't do it. And that's the, Muktananda. It's better never to go on the path of enlightenment, but if you do, you can't get off. And it's too late. It's just too late. Better you don't start, but if you do start, better you don't get off. Okay, we get to the sixth on the tree of life, and it's the animas, the masculine, but we are now in the territory of the yin and yang. We are in the territory of Buddhism. Look, is that brilliant? It's all one. The tree of life, it's the masculine, feminine. It's the polarity. The mind works on opposites. Balance in the mental. Anima, animas. This is all in anatomy of the spirit, by the way. So this is, so you don't have to worry about my writing. But this, and the seventh is the great, the seventh chakra, the seventh on the tree of life. The beginning point is the beginning. The opposite of all creation is the potential of creation. This is a great, big, huge thing to understand. Because in Buddha, right. This is such a great, big, huge thing to understand. So open your chakras and dig deep here. I'll do my best to communicate with limited resources. This part of us dwells in only potential of potentialness. There's nothing here but all things. Okay. It is the beginning of all that has yet to be. Look at that sentence. Fall in love with that sentence. The beginning of all that has yet to be. Do you realize that's every morning of your life? This is the beginning of all that has yet to be. How's that for an ice cream sandwich? The beginning of all that has yet to be. Now, if anybody feels hopeless, swallow those words. And in everyness of every second, the beginning of all that is yet to be exists in every breath. Okay, you have to get, this is a mystical law. It's such a big, huge thing. You can't contain yourself. You can only glimpse this. The beginning of all that is yet to be exists in every choice you make. It's not like a great big huge universe. Every choice we make is the beginning of all that is yet to be. You can't grasp that. We can't grasp that. We can't fit into that, but it's the truth. And it's a mystical law. Because every choice has the beginning. I'll give you an example. I'm going to hit a bomb and blow up everything. The beginning of all that is yet to be. I'm going to go to work. I'm a scientist. I look under a lab. I decide to go to work today. And I discover the cure for cancer. The beginning of all that is yet to be. Every day is the beginning of all that is yet to be. That is yet to be. One tiny choice, I think I'll go to work today. One tiny choice is the beginning of all that is yet to be in your life. I think I will answer the phone. Oh, hi, I haven't spoken to you in 30 years. I'm in town, the beginning of all that is yet to be in a friendship you thought was over. The beginning of all is in every choice you make. I think I will have lunch with you. We haven't met yet. The beginning of all that is yet to be exists in every choice you make. You can hardly contain that. Every choice you make has the potential of redirecting every single piece of your life. From the tiniest to the biggest. Turns out you have lunch with someone who I know exactly the doctor you should talk to, who has just done the research on exactly the medicine you need. The beginning of all that is meant to be. Exists in potential in this. And you, if you hold that altitude, you realize nothing's impossible. The center and the beginning point of the law of miracles. The law of miracles exists at this level. All is possible. All is possible. With God, nothing is impossible. Thank you, Teresa, her prayer. With God, nothing is impossible. We're praying at this altitude, and that is the truth. The truth up here, the truth. We are now in the world of bending laws. The laws bend here. The laws bend here. They don't bend here. We bend them from this altitude. We twist them. We work with them. We talk to them up here. And then they do their bidding for us here. Are you following me? This big, huge. You have to be so... Questions? Okay, it's sinking in. Is it sinking in, or have you gone blank on me? Okay.